Congratulations on Avatar. Let's just talk about your own love of film and how this sort of came to be in one of the biggest movie projects of all time. What does movies mean to you, and what was your first film that made you fall in love with the medium?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I don't know if it's a specific film that I just fell in love with acting. I think I've just always been drawn to the performance arts and always loved performing. And I think that's how I got into all of this. And I think after seeing Avatar, I kind of understood the escapism of movies a little bit more. And getting onto the Avatar set just gave it a whole nother level. And I guess the rest is history.
And were there specific movies that really sort of spoke to you, that sort of got you into this whole thing in the first place?
Wow, that's a good question. I think Tron Legacy really got me because I was a fan of the original. And then I remember watching it in theaters with my mom and my best friend. And I just remember, like, with the scene where, like, he's in the games, and then Tron comes out, and he was the good guy, but he's the bad guy now, and he takes out the double disc. I don't know, there's, like, such a magical feeling. And then once, like, at a young age, I learned that was a job, to make movies. I was like, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, what's really interesting about that answer, actually, is that Tron Legacy is very much a movie about another movie.
Yeah.
And here we are with Avatar, which is very much a film that's reflecting upon another film.
Yeah.
Using technology, using different worlds, different ways of getting into it. So if we just talk about as performers, one with doing a relatively virtual performance, one integrating a virtual performance, if we just talk about the absolute procedure, how are you guys working together on set? Let's start from the beginning. What's it like being on a mocap set where you're also recording live action stuff?
Yeah, I mean, performance capture.
You said the M word.
Huh?
I said mocap.
Yeah,
Oh,
mocap.
yeah.
Every time someone says mocap, he's like, performance capture.
excuse me. Performance capture.
Careful,
because
she has a knife.
Yeah, so performance capture, excuse me.
No
Performance
worries.
capture versus live action being captured at the same time. We could just talk about the actual process.
The actual process, we had performance capture suits. They had these markers on them, and not like highlighter markers, like little dots, balls, kind of things. And those tracked our body performance. Then we had 101 dots on our face, and a helmet, little camera attached. Those capture our facial performance. And I remember we'd have actually a loincloth taped to the performance capture suit, braid coming out of our helmet.
There's a kuru too.
Yeah, and remember, we don't just get the 101 dots put on our face. We get scanned, like our whole body, our face, and then we have like a little mold put on our face. They poke the dots through. So that's kind of the start of the day.
Yeah.
We go through calibration. We're like doing all the body movements. By the end, we had them memorized and just kind of getting calibrated.
I think,
then face getting calibrated.
Yeah, I think for as far as like our scenes go, I think there'd be some times where you guys, like all the Na'vi characters, would be on one side of the stage. I don't know if you remember this, and you'd be doing the scene, like, and it'd be like, person to person. But then I'd be on the other side on a different set, acting to tennis balls, just because of the height thing, and we'd be doing the scene at the same time.
Yeah.
But just like they'd be acting to someone shorter, and then I'd be acting to either a puppet or a tennis ball.
I forgot about that.
So yeah, we only did that a few times.
And just as the last question then, how does one not get overwhelmed by the technology, the amazing LCD screens, everything going on, and simply focus on performance? Were there moments working with Jim Cameron where you could forget about all the trappings and simply focus on what it was and with your character? If you could talk about that feeling of ignoring everything else and just focusing on what it was you're performing.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of preparation going into the day, at the start of the day, getting ready in our suits and with our dots. But once we're on the set, we're filming action, I don't really think about it at all.
Yeah, you really quick, even on my first day, I quickly forgot that I was wearing all this, because at the end of the day, it's just all about the energy between two actors, and once you're locked in with, into a scene with them, you just, you're already imagining, even if you're doing a regular film, you're still imagining that, this is my first cup of coffee I've been pouring. I haven't been doing it all day, so it just, imagination,
And did you guys take up scuba diving after this?
I would. I have my scuba license. I just don't live in a place where I don't live near an ocean. I would love to go scuba diving, but.
And do you have a love of the ocean now?
I do love the ocean. I haven't taken up much scuba diving. Yeah, I'm junior
Surfing, though.
certified, but surfing,
Mahalo.
boogie boarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the film. It's pretty spectacular. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun
Thank
talking about it here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to Toronto.